Hey everyone, it's Jerry with the Celluloid Collective, and in anticipation of the new year, I wanted to go back and reflect on everything that happened this year. So in this video, we're going to break down all of the milestones that we met this year, our goals for next year, and how you can help us bring film back to the dead. So let's get started. All right, so what happened this year? So Kenny and I started this in January, and one of the goals that we had for this year was just to get the community rocking and rolling. So we wanted to share other people's work. That was the featured artist aspect. So if you've been one of our featured artists, thank you so much. If you haven't submitted and you want to, we'll drop a link below. You can do that on our website. And so one of the things that I think was really important to us when we started the community was that we actually show off other people's work. So we knew as filmmakers and photographers and artists in general that it was really hard to get our work seen, and I think the only way that you can really do that is if you do have a community of people that are actually helping you get it out there. So kind of beating that algorithm, or however you want to approach it. So but yeah, that was one of our things for this year, and I think we ended up having about 8 or 9 featured artists. We got one zine finished, so we're waiting on a couple more featured artists to make the next zine, and so that way we can share off all your work. But yeah, that was a really cool thing. What else happened this year? We started launching all of our sales in June. We're going to talk about the business side of it here in a minute, but we started launching sales in June. We started all of our film sales, our t-shirts, things like that, darkroom aprons, things like that. And you might have noticed if you supported the Black Friday sale, that was kind of our biggest drive to the website. I'm going to show you all that here in a second. But we also started teaching classes. And so in the new year, we're going to be starting our YouTube channel. So we're going to have some online classes. So if you're not in LA or New York, hopefully that will open it up to you as well and show you that you can develop your film in your bathroom or your kitchen or your garage or whatever you kind of have access to. So we're going to be going with that as well, and really driving a little bit more of the education side. So one of the biggest things that we got for feedback this year was a lot of people just not knowing what to do, where the breakdowns were, where the where the kind of like the bottlenecks and the gatekeepers lie, if you will. So one of the things that I've realized doing this for the last well, almost 15 years is that most of the things I thought were very, very difficult just weren't. And so we had to get past all of the things that were in the way and all of the misconstrued information and really get to it. So one of the things that I'm the most excited about with the YouTube is that we'll be able to do just that. So one of the things that we're going to do is, do you need a dark bag? Can you really just go into a closet? I don't know if it's going to light leak enough, but I want to try it out and see, do we really need all of this equipment? And sometimes you don't have it, and sometimes you just want to play, or sometimes you don't want to use it. And so that's what's really exciting to me as a teacher, is just to be able to kind of throw the rules away now and see what we can get. So what else happened this year? I think those were kind of the big things. But now let's look at what I think is very interesting, which is kind of all the data. So when you're launching something like this, we're always trying to figure out, how do we get more information out? How do we get to the community quicker? How do we figure out where the bottlenecks are? Things like that. So if you're also thinking of starting some kind of thing like this, I think it's very interesting to have all of that. So let's jump into it. All right. So one of the things that I was really excited about, you can see right here that from like kind of January to June, we're just kind of slowly going. We launched this in January, we launched the Instagram in January, we had the website going and everything, but we weren't really driving any information towards it or any customers towards it, because we were just making sure we had everything. So it's changed a lot over the course of the year, and so we've had a lot of different iterations of it, how we format things, and you'll actually see up here, this was an interesting point. So basically what this means, around like 50 to 60, I looked up, is actually average, but it means basically they came to one page and then they left. So they found what they wanted and they left. And so we're going to try to figure out how to get that a little bit higher, or a little bit lower, I suppose, in the new year. So we'll be playing around with that. One of the things I was the most excited about, though, was this 14,000 visits. So we had 14,000 people come to this website this year, which is just kind of unreal to me. And 11,000 of those were uniques. That means that was their first time. So if you'd have told me in January that 11,000 people, almost 1,000 people on Instagram, almost 150 people on TikTok, which we only launched the TikTok a couple weeks ago, and then now the YouTube is going. So we have, kind of as today, I believe, whenever I'm recording this, which is December 29th, right before the new year, I think we have about 30 or 35 subscribers on YouTube. So, and then 24,000 page views. So those 11,000 people are going to more page views, and they're looking up some stuff. So you can see once we actually started driving traffic, we were going. And so December we kind of laid it off. You probably noticed if you follow us on Instagram that we went a little bit slower during December, and that way we could just enjoy time with the family and all those kind of things. So let's go over here. So the traffic sources. So this kind of tells us where everything is coming from: social, direct, email, stuff like that. So and then how much were the profit that's making off of the sales of those things. So you can see that social and direct, we were actually really surprised that the direct is getting more than social. So we've only put ads on Instagram, and so that's helped with the community to get the reach. But what I find pretty cool is that we've, over half of our kind of our sales and our engagement has been direct. So people have been searching for keywords, they find us, and stuff like that. So this is a pretty cool little map here. So as you would imagine, we're only marketing ourselves in the US right now, but what I think is pretty cool is that we are getting other pieces of traffic from other countries. So once again, very, very small amounts, but we are kind of popping up in other little pockets around the world, which is really cool. So yeah, we're gonna try, if you're watching this from another country that's not the United States, thank you for the support and thank you for stopping by, and we are working on right now how we can start doing international shipping. So one of the things that was very important to us as well was keeping the cost kind of equitable. And what I mean by that is that you've probably heard film is going up, prices keep changing, all of these different things, and so we don't want to make the prices so high with the shipping that it doesn't make any sense to buy it anymore. So that's why we haven't done the international yet, but we're looking at how to make that happen. So hopefully that will happen in the new year as well. Engagement. As you'd imagine, most of the people are going to the store, and we have a lot of traffic to the store, and so I would imagine that is because when we ran the ads for Black Friday and things like that, they were directly to the store. So you'll see roughly. Alrighty. So my memory card filled up and I had to dump it, so we're back. What I was about to say before it hard cut was we were going to talk about the YouTube and film stocks and things that we have coming up. So let's talk about the film. So moving forward in the new year, we're going to have a lot more, I guess you would say, harder to find film, unique films, things like that. So our big mission was to bring film back from the dead, and in doing that, we're out actively searching for film that's been kind of properly stored and frozen for a long time, or in your fridge, and trying to find it from people that have kept it pretty well. And so right now we have a supply of aerochrome that we're going through right now. So hopefully that'll be out as long as that tests out. We have some more gaff slide film that we've found, which you would have seen on the store back in, I believe, September. So we have about 20 more rolls of that. 10 or 20, I can't remember on that one. And then we just kind of found a big kind of treasure trove of Tri-X from, we have about 50 rolls of that, so that'll be coming very soon as well. So, all right, the big thing that we wanted to talk about in this video was the YouTube. So you're watching this right now, and what does that actually mean? So when we started the collective, one of the things Kenny and I really talked about was using our filmmaking background to start doing little shows on here. And so one of the goals moving forward will be to do that. So you're going to see a lot more content coming up. And I'd even be hard pressed to say it's not exactly content, but more educational, more experiments, more trying things, and seeing what you can actually get. So excuse me, what I want to really push forward in this new year is that you don't need the best equipment. You can shoot expired film. You can play around with f-stops and shutter speeds and lenses, and you can cross-process. You can develop it however you want. You can use cyanotapes and make films with the sun, and more importantly, that you just have fun. We want this to be a place to explore and experiment and try things. And as an artist myself and as a teacher, I realize whenever I let my students kind of just like fly and try things, there's really beautiful things that happen in that. So with our YouTube, that's kind of what it's going to be. So you'll find actual classes on our website where we go through longer form things. So one of our episodes on there will be camera scanning, how to develop your film, how to shoot 4x5, how to, just basics of how to load and get your film out of your 35mm camera. So all of those will be available too. But a couple of the things you're going to see on our YouTube are a series called Will It Develop? And so where we're taking really old film stocks. I don't have one here on the table, but we're going to see if we can get it to actually develop. So take it through the ringer and see what happens. We're also going to be bringing film back to the dead, where we use inexpensive cameras, try to fix them up and see if we can also make those work. The ones that will work will end up on our store, and so maybe you could buy yourself a new camera if you like what it looks like. But take more chances, try new things, and experiment. So that's what the new year is going to be about. So thank you so much for last year. Thank you for 2024. It was incredibly humbling, the support, and so I can't wait to see what 2025 brings. So let's get out there and let's bring film back from the dead. Happy New Year.